Everybody, what's going on? Eli here, or P691,000. Been a while since I made a video. I missed Halloween completely, which is kind of bad because I'm supposed to be the scary channel. You know, I'm kind of known through YouTube now as the scary channel, or the ghost channel, or the Urban Legends channel. And I didn't make a Halloween video, so I hope you guys can forgive me for that. But I got some good things in store for you guys today. I'm going to make up for it by doing a whole thing of Urban Legends. Should take a while because there's quite a bit of them on here. I'm going to read every one of them to you guys because I love you. And because I really need to make a video. My hair's getting kind of stringy looking there. Anyway, so I'm going to start this out with, this is probably the longest one that I've found so far. It's called The Smith Sisters Murdered Anonymously. So, this story is about the Smith sisters who were murdered anonymously while they slept in their bedroom. It's an urban legend about a boy named John Smith, which the name kind of gives that away, is an urban legend, fake name. Anyway, John Smith, who was very fond of scary emails and pop-ups. Every day he would find new ones and post them to everyone he knew. He even started making some himself and sending them to strangers. He loved to scare people on the net. John lived in Plainfield, Wisconsin. One day in November 2007, he opened up his inbox and found a message that appeared to be from two young girls. They called themselves the Smith sisters and told him they were his older sisters. Which confused him because he was an only child. They said years ago they had lived in the house. He replied saying he didn't have any sisters and told them to get lost and leave him alone. The next day he received a chilling message with some photo attachments. The first photo was of two young girls. The caption on it said, "Smith Sisters Murdered Anonymously." The girls said in the email that they were indeed his older sisters. They told him that in 1993 they had lived in the house. His bedroom had once been their bedroom. They told him all about growing up and about their lives and how happy they had been until one horrible night. He opened up the other attachment, and it was a scan of an old newspaper article. In 1993, two sisters were brutally murdered in a small town community of Plainfield, Wisconsin. Lisa Smith, 19, and her sister, Sarah Smith, 15, were attacked in their parents' home one night on November 17th around 1:30 a.m. The Smith sisters were laying in bed when a crazed killer broke into the house. No one heard them scream. In the morning, their parents found the dead bodies of the Smith sisters hidden in the bedroom closet. They had been skinned alive. The killer was long gone, and no trace of him could be found. They had been murdered anonymously. Police conducted an extensive investigation, but to no avail. The motives for the attack were never discovered, nor was the attacker ever found. The only lead authorities had was a series of strange emails found in Liza's computer. The case was closed in October of 2000. In the rest of the email, the sisters said they were angry that the case was closed and people forgot about them. They were angry that their parents wanted to forget about them too. They were angry that their parents decided to start over and had a new baby, a little boy named John. They were angry that their parents had never mentioned their daughters or their tragic murder to their new son John. John Smith sent an angry reply saying he didn't believe what they were saying. He didn't believe the Smith sisters were really related to him, and he didn't believe the newspaper article was real. He told them to go to hell. 5 minutes later, he got another email from them. It said, "If you don't believe us, look in the bedroom closet." That was the last email that was found on John's computer. The police were unable to trace who had sent the messages to him. On the floor of the closet, the police found a faint message carved in the wood. It simply read, "Lisa and Sarah, 1993. Underneath that was another carving that read, "John, 2007. No one knows what really happened. Oh, I'm sorry. No one knows. I skipped a paragraph. No one knows what John did next. But in the morning, John's parents woke up to find their son missing. They checked his bedroom closet and got the shock of their lives. There they found the dead body of their son, who had been skinned alive. No one knows what really happened that night. Police were only able to piece together parts of the story based on what they found on John's computer. The parents were devastated. How could this happen to a family? First their daughters were murdered, and now, years later, their son. It seemed too weird to be just a coincidence. Two sisters are murdered, and then years later their brother is murdered in exactly the same way, in exactly the same place. And the only evidence left behind is a few scary emails. Makes you wonder. So that was that. Pretty creepy stuff. Sorry about the lighting. I'm kind of dark in here. Anyway. Alrighty. Next is the tale of the Midnight Man. Alright, and it's a game. This game was used as a ritual to summon the Midnight Man, to punish rule breakers in pagan religions long ago. Warning, play this game at your own risk or own risk of torture and death. You'll need the following supplies to play: paper, pencil, needle, candle, a box of matches, and your door shut. Turn off all the lights, light a candle, write your name on the paper, first, middle, and last. Prick your finger with the needle and add a drop of blood on the paper. Allow it to soak in. Excuse me. Place the paper with your name on the floor in front of the door. Knock on the door 22 times with the ticking of the clock. The 22nd knock must occur at 12 a.m. Open your door, blow out the candle, and close it. You now have summoned the Midnight Man. Immediately relight your candle. This is when the game begins. Your goal is to avoid the Midnight Man at all costs. You may move through the house to avoid him. You can tell if he is near. Your candle will go out. It will get chilly. You'll hear a low whisper, and he will appear right in front of you. You must relight the candle within 10 seconds. If not, throw down a circle of salt around yourself and stay inside the circle from 12:01 a.m. to 3:33 a.m. If you're still alive at 3:33 a.m., you've won. If not, you'll be tortured, sometimes to death, until 3:33 a.m. Come back and let us know if you've won the game. Pretty creepy stuff. I can't say I would really advise you guys playing that, but if you want to, go for it. I wouldn't advise it though, and I'm damn sure not going to do it. Also, salt. They said make a circle of salt. That's also how you protect yourself from witchcraft, black magic, voodoo, things like that. In voodoo especially, if you put a line of salt in front of the door, it's believed that people that want to hurt you or are attempting to hurt you can't cross the line. So, okay, this one's called Wait for 3 Knocks. Jason and Jason and Ashley were driving from their home in New Jersey to visit his parents in South Carolina. It was a long trip, but one they had taken so many times before, so they were familiar with the route from start to finish. They had to wait to start driving until after work that evening and were scheduled to arrive at Mom and Dad's the next day. That night, construction and road work forced them to take a detour which led them down a highway they had never taken before. While they were driving, the car broke down. Jason noticed they hadn't passed any gas stations or even a traffic light for quite a few miles, and just discovered he didn't have a single bar on his cell phone. He suggested that Ashley wait in the car while he took a walk to get some help, or at least to find a signal so he could make a phone call. He told her to lock the doors and hide under a blanket and not come out until she heard 3 knocks on the roof. She sat there for what seemed like hours, waiting for Jason to come back and for the safety of those 3 knocks. Ashley grew anxious and concerned. What could be taking him so long, she said. She thought to herself, maybe he needs my help. She pulled off the blanket and saw a strange man grinning at her with wide eyes, and his face pressed up against the window. When he caught her eye, his smile widened as he held up the keys to the car. Now that's pretty creepy. Just imagine you sitting there hiding under a blanket and somebody staring at you. Pretty creepy stuff. Let's see what else we got going on here. Once lived, twice buried is what or once lived, buried twice is what this is called. In my town of Lorgan, roughly 100 years ago, there lived a woman who was very old. Her husband had died early in a marriage, and the ring her husband bought was priceless for the time. One morning, she took ill and was presumed dead. Her family held a funeral and buried her. That night, grave robbers dug up her body and tried to get the ring off her finger. The ring was very tight on her old and swollen knuckles, and they were having trouble removing it, so they decided to saw it off. They put the saw against her finger, and just as it scraped her bone, the woman screamed. The robbers were so surprised they ran off in fear. She managed to walk back into town to reveal to her astonished family that she had only been unconscious when she was presumed dead. A few years later, she finally did pass away, and the following message appears on her tombstone. Lived once, buried twice. Creepy. So that's kind of a warning against, grave robbing, first of all. And also, back in the old days, the 1700s, 1800s, that happened a lot. People were buried, and they weren't actually dead. So what happened is sometimes you'll go through an old graveyard and you'll see a bell hanging there with a string attached, and the string goes underground. And if you've ever wondered what that is, actually what it was meant for was if they had buried somebody alive and they woke up, they would start pulling the string and ringing that bell, and that bell would start ringing, and people would know, oh my God, the person's alive, and they would run and, of course, dig them up and get them out of there. But that's what those are for, if you'll notice. I've went through old graveyards and seen those before, and I think that's pretty cool, actually. They're still there. So, who knows? Maybe one day they might start ringing the bell. That'd be kind of creepy, though. And I can't say I'd volunteer to dig them up. Alright. This one is called Bride and Seek. During the wedding reception of a young couple, the guests decided to play a drunken game of hide and seek. It was decided that the groom was it, and he eventually found everyone except the new bride. The longer he searched, the more frustrated he became, and he was soon furious, thinking she had left. He decided the game wasn't funny anymore and went home without his bride. As weeks went by, he accepted that she had had second thoughts and went on with her life, so he did the same. A few years later, a cleaning lady dusted off an old trunk in the attic of the building where the reception had taken place. Out of curiosity, she opened it. Inside the trunk was the rotten body of the missing bride, who had apparently became locked in the trunk she'd chosen to hide in. Whether she'd suffocated or starved was unknown, but her face was frozen in a scream. Be careful where you hide, ladies and gentlemen, during hide and seek. That's kind of a warning against somebody might not be able to find you, so don't lock yourself in a place if you do play hide and seek. This is called a mother's plea. So, and I've never read this before, so. On a dark summer night, a couple was on their way from the movies, riding down the same stretch of road they always took to get to their house. They came across a woman who was on the side of the road. The woman stumbled out into the streets and flagged them down. The couple pulled over and rushed to her aid. She seemed to be badly injured and with tears in her eyes, told the couple that she was just in a horrible car accident and her baby was trapped in the back seat. The man told the woman to stay with his wife and he would go and free the baby. As the man approached the mangled vehicle, he heard the baby crying in the back seat. Revealed that the baby was still alive, he rushed into the car, got into the back seat, and freed the baby. But as he lifted the child, he noticed the dead couple in the driver and passenger seat. He got out with the baby and went back to where his wife and the woman were waiting. But as soon as he got there, he noticed his wife by herself. "Where's the woman?" her husband asked. "She went back to the car to help," his wife said, also relieved that the baby was still alive and okay. He gave the baby to his wife and went back to the car to look for the woman. When he got there, however, he called out for her, but there was no answer. He walked around toward the front of the car. As he glanced through the broken windshield at the couple inside, his face turned pale and he lost his breath. The dead woman who was in the passenger seat was the same woman who had flagged them down. Pretty creepy stuff. Let's see. And once again, I do want to apologize for not making a Halloween video because, you know, like I said, this is kind of like known for scary stories and urban legends and things of that nature. It's what this channel and I'm kind of known for now. So, you know, me not making a Halloween video was, you know, was kind of bad on my taste there, but I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if you want to know what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to read to you guys next. I'm probably going to read one more and then we'll end the video. Let's see, because I'm not really sure how long this video is right now. I don't have the timer on my thing. Let's go with that one. Alright, this is called The Black Lady of Bridal Woods. I grew up in a large town in Lancashire, England. As a kid, we used to play in a large wooded area on the outskirts of town called Bradley Woods. In the woods is an ancient-looking abandoned cottage by a pond, and we told a story about it which went like this. Hundreds of years ago, a poor woodsman lived in a cottage with his wife and baby. They lived happily until the woodsman was pressed into the military service by the local landowner during the English Civil War. The woodsman's wife waited and waited for months for any news of her husband, but none ever came. One New Year's Day, a group of soldiers on horseback came riding through the woods, part of a force that had been plundering the surrounding countryside. Coming across the cottage, they broke in and demanded the woodsman's wife hand over all her money and any strong drink she might have. When she refused, the soldiers beat and raped her savagely, before taking the baby and riding off, laughing wickedly. From that day on, the woman dressed in black and roamed the woods searching for her missing child, accosting anyone she met and begging them for any news of the baby. She soon earned a reputation as being quite mad, and so people began to give the woods a wide berth. The woodsman never returned home, and the woman continued to roam the woods, desperately searching for her lost baby until the day she died. Legend has it that her ghost still wanders the woods today, and if anyone is brave enough to walk into the woods on New Year's Day and shout, black lady, I've stolen your baby," 3 times, the woman shall appear and confront them. So, pretty creepy stuff. But that's our Urban Legends video, and a ghost story as well. So threw that in there for you guys. And there'll be a lot more videos to come. I'm sorry for the slow, you know, bringing of videos to you guys, uploading of videos. But I've just been kind of busy lately. I've been working out, losing a lot of weight. I'm getting my last treatment done on my face in December, so pretty psyched about that. But I'm going to go ahead and end this video because I've only got 4 minutes left on here because I'm about out of film. I didn't have the timer on, but within the first 5 minutes, if you're down to 5 minutes in the video, it'll tell you. So I've got 4 minutes left. But I hope you guys enjoyed these. Comment, let me know what you thought about them. Let me know if you were creeped out by them, or whatever. So peace, love. I love you all. Have a great day.